Hello guys, today I'm going to be talking about a pen mod that I made or designed or created. So essentially, I have not actually created very many mods. Like over the past I'm like considered a modder, but like realistically, I don't think I'm really a modder. I'm only considered a modder because I don't show my spinning, you know? And like, oh, people see it, I have mods. But I've never really considered myself a modder. I've just, I guess, have a lot of mods. Uh, it's like if you go through my like kitchen analogy when it comes to like pen mods, I'm not really like somebody creating the menu or anything. I've never creating dishes. I'm just that home cook that's like reading recipes and just that's it. I wouldn't consider myself a modder in that sense, I guess. But I feel like but I do have the whatever beginner mods with like a reason. I've never actually made really designed mods that I actually spin for myself. There has been one, which I guess not many people know exists. Uh, but I do spin it a lot. It's Gary Factus, um, which is somewhere. It should be on my desk here. Yeah, which was the first really mod that I made for myself. Um, but I still wouldn't consider myself like a true like it's always based off of like conceptions. So here I based it off of Zephyr mods, with the centered signal, and then I just had spare parts. My kind of modding convention is not necessarily designing something from scratch or trying to fit like it's more like I got a spare part, so how am I going to implement it, I guess. So I had spare parts of Nectalios, and then I just combine it with factory made mod parts really. So I have these grips from factory mods. Under it, I think is something G2. It's a G2, and I wanted that really cool like texture over that, which is like pretty interesting. But on camera, when you're spinning it, it doesn't really show anything. But I really like the Nectalios like parallel lines and then the lines there and then overgrip that. I really found that cool, and I think the end is pretty cool. It's like I feel it wrapped around any ball in it for decoration and added weight because it doesn't even hold the tip in, and like there's like a gap in between here, and that's cool. I always liked it. I do think me not sharing my spinning or not like there are ways to like realistically modders. I don't have that. I'm not prolific enough to like, oh, I post it and like I post all my mods and people will just recognize me as a modder and like see my mods. Like I'm not like a Vortex, I guess, who has like a blog full of a lot of mods that you'll just find and create tutorials of. Or I'm not a spinner, so there's no like I'm not a public spinner. I'm not good at spinning, and I don't like share clips or where people will ask me what mods. So there is no reason, there's no way for people to like discover the mods I create. So that's why I'm creating this video, not necessarily to um advertise. I don't want people to make my mods, I guess, but it's just like if I like some sort of reference of it, because like if I dismantle a mod, I have no collection of it anymore other than my own photos, which could be displaced. So I might as well post it out online. So maybe I don't know, people can take ideas, or you just want to hear me talk, or if I want to learn about how I made something. That's really it. Anyhow, back to my second recently made mod. So it's basically this mod. Where's the mod? Right here. Basically with the same fundamental ideas of when I made my first mod. I basically had some parts that I just had no like I needed to reuse. So obviously there are inspirations here. You can see clear inspirations here. I'm gonna tell you in what order I'll have these inspirations. So the first order of inspiration was this mod here. I actually don't know what this mod is called, but it's honestly a really underrated mod that I feel like I'm the only one in like the Western space that actually has made this mod. Um, so basically like so basically wait, I need to check my where is 50 Snakes? So basically I sent this link to 50 Snakes and I think he checked it out, but like I don't think he actually bought it or anything. But there is like a Taobao link. He left fucking IPMC. Damn. I mean, okay. So basically, it's this mod on Taobao that like comes in a preset, and it's like pretty interesting. I found it interesting because it was using a factory made mod, and you just get the factory made, and like that was pretty cool. So it's a part that uses that. It's clear barrel, and also it was kind of like inspired, in my opinion, inspired by like the Isaac embosses because of the half Giotto that is fully covered, but like it is a half Giotto here. I think it's a brown Giotto, which is pretty cool. So I really like that. It is Dr. Grip Tip, so it's not really like going for like that Isaac philosophy, but it's like Giotto as a cap. That's the fundamental idea. Let me see if I can find it. Nope. I don't see my link. Honestly, I don't know where my link is. Oh wait, let me start from Gary has link. And let me show. Okay, I found it. Wait. I just accidentally pinned it. I just accidentally pinned it. Whoops. Anyhow, I cannot log in. So basically, it was on Taobao. Accessing links on Taobao is honestly really annoying. Let me try doing this. So I actually don't even know if the product is actually existing. I'm gonna accept this. Okay. The Anyi the Anyi pen shop changed whatever, you know, the Anyi mod. I don't really but it comes with this. It comes with these grips that you put on. Blah blah blah. It's pretty cool. You end up with this mod, which basically reuses the grips. So basically reuse, you know, it's a really cool mod. Reuses the grips and adds this, add blah blah blah. It's really cool, and I really like spinning it. I don't really like the insert that comes with, but default. But you can change it out because it's clear and super cool and awesome. Like yo. Anyhow, based on inspiring the idea of using this sort of pen mod like body, a factory made body, I wanted to like kind of do that. Not exactly with the same one, but with the white version, which is, you know, ZW 1001, because they're both, the 1001 and 1003 are both modeled after emboss. So but they're basically the same, but one of them is clear, one of them isn't. So essentially here I have, you know, the non-clear one. I had another one. Bam. You know, I reused it. Reuse it. And so I basically removed it and then cut it together, and then that's where we're at. So I basically wanted to make something like this into something like this. I obviously though, where did these come from? These came from the White Stick V2, those Temu markers. But that was sort of like an afterthought because when I had this sort of the Giotto, and I wanted to put it on, obviously we needed tape. I kind of did not even want tape, though. I think nowadays I'm trying to force no tape. Like if I'm doing a personal pen mod, just cause like I don't know, I didn't want to resort to tape. I had grips, so I wanted to copy the Fenboss idea, which is basically no tape, use grip. I don't have a Fenboss on me, cause my Fenboss is I ended up giving it a freebie to tilt, the blue one. So I don't have a fen boss yet. I do have plans to make another fen boss eventually soon because I do miss the mod, and I have an idea with it that I want to make. So I will eventually. But essentially, is I wanted the idea of the grips. Afterwards, I eventually also added these, which made it look like a fen boss, even though I wasn't really trying initially to create a fen boss looking mod or base it off of a fen boss with these sort of out. Like you could also say it's like the VGGM boss, I guess, but I'm saying it's more fen boss because of the grips as tape, and that's how I used that's how I attached these Giottos to the back plugs of the Emboss, the ZW1001, the little plugs. So I essentially was trying to put on these caps with the grips, but obviously grips are pretty thick, and the grips I'm using, you know, are pretty thick, so it could only go like up to here. And like I was kind of thinking maybe I should just leave the gap and like this, like the the Moonlight mod from Vanilla, or I forgot what it's called. I think it's the Moonlight mod by Vanilla. I could have it like the gap here because I'm not even, especially here in these areas, I'm not even gonna spin in those areas. But that, in my opinion, would kind of look like pretty bad. It would look pretty scuffed. I've never seen a mod like that. It would look pretty scuffed, I think. So eventually I was like, oh, this could actually fit this section of the caps, the colored portion of the caps from the Timu mod, which I haven't seen used. I mean, they're honestly not that great except for like color, and they fit around these back plugs, I guess. They're honestly pretty loose. Like as you can, I can still twist this around like like there is no real resistance. So these are like free flowing, which is kind of not great because like they could be a little bit rattly. I mean, theoretically, it's a loose part of the mod, which like longevity wise might not be the best. So I wanted to use these the Giottos because these Giottos were actually also a part that I had lying around that I couldn't really use for anything because of, if you can see, like it's not a clean Giotto. As you can see, there's like some there's like some scratches on it because when I was making Nine's Titan gear, I was removing the ink, but I was like applying too much pressure, I think with my thumb or something, when scraping off the ink, that I was actually like creating these marks on the Giotto. So obviously I can't sell or like can't give Nine like a scuffed Giotto. So like, you know, that was just an L I had to take, so I had to remove it and get him a fresh one. So that was just like I had a spare Titan gear Giotto part. So like so lying around, I think only one. So I didn't really want to use that for if I would make another like Titan gear type of mod. So I just cut off that 1 centimeter portion, cut it in half, and put them on these two sides here. So that was my cap. And then over here we have, remember when I was making White Stick V2, I cut one of them to 2.9. So I basically just used the stick here. So I cut another one. I honestly accidentally, like, or not accidentally, but I was kind of lazily like doing it. And I put on the grip for one cap before cutting the grip for the other cap. So I wasn't actually trusting myself that I actually cut 2.9 here because I measure here, and when it's on the cap, it's obviously doesn't, like when I measure it, this doesn't look 2.9 or anywhere near 3 centimeter. It was like 2.7, 2.8. So I don't know. I didn't know who to trust, and I was like, I guess I'll just trust my eye in here and just cut the second one to 2.9. I mean to 2.8. So theoretic, I'm pretty sure the other one actually was 2.9 because of course when you're putting it on, but I was like, whatever, fuck it. I wasn't sure if it was like 2.9 or like actually 2.8, like 5 or 2.84 or something. Like I wasn't sure if it was closer to 2.8, 2.9. So I just cut it to 2.8 anyways because it looked 2.8 when I was measuring here. They're both like, so like maybe one of them is slightly 0.1 millimeter off. I'm not like, it's like a barren DC moment where like you have non-matching parts. Anyhow, oh yeah, these two are off colors because of course the set doesn't come with same colors. I guess I wanted one to match white, and so this is like pretty cool that you have the off, that you have this sort of asymmetrical DC kind of look that I really wasn't necessarily going for, which is how it ended up. Stats are, by the way, 25 centimeters, or like slightly under, slightly over. Maybe like slightly under, like 24.8 centimeters, and then like 22, 23 grams. Let's get my scale. 22 grams, 22.13. So not necessarily. So it does spin, honestly, similar to like these sort of airfit tipped, or like fake ice embosses, because of just the raw stats and like it being emboss with the same sort of construction. So it spins kind of like the Moonlight mod, even though I think the Moonlight mod is like, I mean, obviously longer. So it's I feel like it's a bit different, and also these are airfit tips, so a little bit heavier. These tips, oh yeah, they are the same tips I used for, I mean, same tips as the ZW1001. So essentially, this is a really cheap mod, because the tips and the body and the backlugs are all from the same mod. So essentially, all you need to do is get Giotto and get like, if you could literally have a set of mods by getting, oh, if you already have White Stick V2, all you need to do is buy ZW1001, and then you can make this mod, and one Giotto, and you can make this mod, because you'll have leftover caps. I mean, like these caps, you just have the half Giottos. You'll have the white grips, and then those ZW1001, you can turn it into this with the tips and the body, whatever. So essentially, yeah, the tips are just held by the outside grip. Pretty simple, and also pretty cheap. And I guess that's how I went. I went for like a little bit of overhang against the end, similar to Fly Emboss, I guess. Like I don't know, like, I mean, not really like Fly I mean, it's like, I don't know. I from my idea of Fly Emboss is like the little curve, like the little, like it's like a it's a little curve on the end. Obviously, it doesn't look like Fly Emboss because of it doesn't have that clear grip on the end here. But like, I don't know, when I think of Fly Emboss, I think of it all being like flat, and then just the end it being like round. That's my idea of Fly Emboss. So anyhow, there we have it. It's honestly, it does spin pretty cool. It wasn't really going for, like, I was going for something more. So I honestly might remove these for the next iteration. I'm honestly trying to make mods right now because I don't have a Gary mod yet. I've always thought of, if I want a Gary mod, do I actually want to make Gary mod myself? I feel like it'd be so funny if just somebody makes a mod and just calls it Gary mod. Like, I can't do anything about it, but they just call it Gary mod, and like, it has nothing to do with me. I did not even help them or anything. But like, oh, it's just Gary mod, because you can arbitrarily name a mod anything, I guess. But I feel like at the same time, it'd be cool to have something on my own that I can actually save. And also, I want to spend stuff that I actually make a little bit more, because I feel like at the same, because I am thought of to be a modder, but like, do I really know how to mod? I guess, if I'm not making mods that spin good, or that I actually personally want to spin, I guess. Yeah, whatever. it's obviously stray away from like what I would typically envision in something that I really like. So like I like a little bit shorter stuff, with some exceptions. Like exception of my Isaac Mbus V3, I do spin a lot, and then like some other outliers, like I think specifically Titan gear, I guess. Sometimes, yeah. I do actually not like spinning this specific Titan gear because, as you can see, this was not my Titan gear technically. It was made for the Gentleman. As you can see, I technically made these these caps don't stay on, or I mean, I cut the G spec a little bit too much, so there's a little bit of gap here. So that's a little bit issue because I didn't match the cutting there, so I did a little mess up. Because the stretching of the G whatever, you know, it is what it is. So it kind of looks a little bit weird. That's really so like it's a departure from what I would honestly envision of a mod myself. So in a way, it's like I might change it. It's not like perfect because, but I do really like spinning it. Honestly, it's just a bit dense. So like I feel like it's a little. I want it to be lighter. In my head, even though the tips are honestly not that heavy, but it's honest maybe not as comfortable as I want it to be. Obviously my preferred like stats is like obviously not even NBOSS. It's like CT thickness with I always thought 17 grams around and 21.5 centimeters. I felt like I weirdly had a lot of collection of 21.5 centimeter and like CT cat like with, you know, CT caps, I guess. I just really like those type of mods. I think I don't know. There's like a lot of mango mods that are like that, which is why I spun them a lot. And like, but and like 21.5, I think like a lot of KTs are 21.5. So I really like a lot of that stuff. So this is obviously not really basing off of my ideal preferences, and it doesn't spin exactly, but I like it. I spin it more than any factory mod. Like I spin it more than this, and it honestly kind of validates my opinion on ZW1001 and it being like a really good mod because of the parts as well. Because now I also have these grips, which are honestly pretty cool grips. They're honestly a little bit weird because of the amount they taper. So that's interesting. And I also have leftover of the caps, I guess. I don't know what I would do with these caps, but honestly, they fit on, theoretically, these. So does it fit on a regular emboss? It does fit on a regular emboss. So that could be an idea. It does fit on a regular emboss. So that could be I mean, yeah. I mean, cuz this looks a lot like this is like a emboss fake, as you can see. They just modeled it after that real thing. But yeah. Here it is. I'm not gonna try to glaze it. I've never really wanted to be one of those glazers of my own mods, just because I have them in my hand, and I understand people have different opinions, but like I don't really want to like, oh, this is way better than ZW1001 if you want to make Z, you know, blah blah, or like, oh yeah, this is better than Isaac and Boss. And so, no. The tips are cool, and I think they look cool at the ends, and like I really like the grip. It is honestly a plain looking mod. It's just white and a stick, but it's pretty interesting, and the stats are on paper look kind of cool. Oh, it's a long mod. Yeah, that's really it. I think I don't really have anything more to comment. I just wanted to talk about my mod. You know, this is like my sort of prototype for an eventual Gary mod once I find something that I really actually love to spin. But like only time will tell. Maybe I will grow to like really like this. That's it. Bam. That's sort of what I had. And honestly, I didn't really spend too much time thinking about this. Like I feel like me as a modder, I'm not really very good at actually modding. It's like I'm, instead of me creating something like, oh, I gotta cut to this, or I'm gonna fit these so interesting parts together, I'm gonna do this and that. I'm just grabbing like ideas, like components of things that already pre-exist and just like slapping them together. And that's kind of like how I'm rolling with it. So I'm not really like a creative guy or like an original guy. Like, oh, I took this from my second boss. Oh, I just, took the idea of using these other ends with a little overhang from White Stick V2 and the tips. Oh, I looked the body from the Anye mod. Oh, yeah, blah, 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 connect. Oh, I don't know. I stole the look from whatever. I took the length from blah, blah, blah. So it's like I'm already using like pre-existing frameworks and just pushing them together and calling it my own, which doesn't really feel right in a way, which is, I guess, eh, it is how it is. Like even my other mods, Scary Walmart mod, not really original or anything interesting. It's like a Xeron ST. I just based it, Xeron ST was a sort of beginner type of thing, but I kind of wanted to incorporate other components like overgripping, and which also looks like uh, the Manoa Star Gear, It's just based off a look of that. It's a fake Star Gear. Oh, and then also the emboss. Ivan construction. Oh, okay. So it's pre-existing shit. I'm just putting it together, which kind of shows how. I don't know. Kind of, like, I'm not really a creative guy. Same with Gary Staples mod. It is using R3 construction, which is like the big round stick, connected R3, but just slap some grips on it. Oh, G2 grip. Yeah, pretty common grip. And also the grip that was in Shoe Lotion Waterfall. Oh, okay. Together. That, like, it's just that. I'm just, me as a modder is just combining pre-existing shit together. I'm still not there yet where I can actually create something like pretty unique. I guess I don't really experiment like that. But yeah, that's really it.